Local elections are coming up in Denmark, but what exactly are we voting for? What do municipal and regional councils even do?
And if you're an international resident, how do you even know if you're eligible? What if you've never voted here before?
You're listening to What Are You Doing in Denmark, the podcast that helps you make Denmark make sense. My name is Derek Hartman.
And I'm Brooke Black, and today we're back with Narcis George Matache. Is that right?
Yay!
To unpack the issues.
The issues of how to say his name.
Right, to unpack the issues shaping Denmark's upcoming election and how you can show up at the polls with confidence.
Hello again, everyone.
Hello.
I hope you didn't get bored last time when I was taking most of the speaking
I
time.
love it.
Oh, no, it was great.
I love it.
You know, this is your second time here. Of course, we've hopefully introduced you to our audience before. If not, we'll put that episode linked in the description so you can learn more about Narcis and his time here.
We're like a 5%, a little bit about me. There's so much more to discover.
So much more to talk about.
It was a bit of a greatest hits, but just a teaser for wanting more all the time.
Yeah, and today, you're definitely pretty sought after because you know a lot about elections and how to kind of make that make sense as far as what people need to know for the elections that are coming up on the 18th of November. But
Soon.
Early voting is through most of October as well.
It started already.
Yeah, so we've got a lot to cover for people who may not even know if they're eligible. Maybe you can tell us who can vote and how does that happen?
Let's make it like this. Do you have a yellow card? Great.
I do.
I do. I do.
That's the first check.
Okay, I use the app, but I think that counts.
That
still,
works.
right?
That
Yeah.
works.
Okay.
Second, are you a European? Fantastic. Now you can go and vote.
I'm not, but you are. Brooke.
Yeah.
You are.
Well, yes.
Which?
Well, yes. Italian. My mom's from Italy, so I have an Italian passport.
Well, Brooke, you can go vote.
Yay.
Have fun. It
It'll
doesn't matter how long you've been here.
It'll be my second time
It
doing
really
a
doesn't
regional election. I'm very excited. I did it 4 years ago.
Nice.
So Brooke is an EU citizen, so she's automatically any EU citizen is eligible as soon as they register in Denmark, basically, right?
Pretty much.
Okay. Now I'm non-EU.
Yeah, you can look at the yellow card and you have to remember when did you come to Denmark.
Okay.
And if 4 years is the math, congrats. You can also
It's
vote.
4 years?
4 now, yeah.
All right.
What was it before?
3.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an old pro then because
Unfortunately, they can change that law. So anything related to Europeans, they cannot touch. But anything related to non-Europeans, they can keep playing with.
When did they change that?
Last elections.
yeah.
It's unfortunate. That's how it is. But that's a reason why non-Europeans have even a stronger reason to actually go out
There you
and
go.
vote, because you don't have the European protection.
Right.
You really need to care about elections here and have people speak in behalf of non-Europeans or internationals in general, right, out there elected.
Yeah. No, that's that's the biggest reason if they're already changing whether or not you can and when you can vote.
Yeah, that's unfortunately. They have the power to do that.
Yeah.
They can take it away completely.
Wow. And that's something that has been floated and talked about. So
Yeah.
Ew.
You're a European. You're fine.
But what's the difference between local and regional elections? Because that's what these are.
Yeah, we have basically you'll have 2 ballots, right? You'll if you go early voting, you'll actually get two colored letters where you write the name of the candidate in, right? That's what happened. By the way, you have early voting and voting in the day of 18 November, right? If you choose to vote early, because let's say you cannot go on 18 November, then you just go to any library, like bibliothèque, any burger service in your municipality. Let's not confuse. And then they will give you 2 letters. One is blue and one is yellow. One is for regional council, one is for local council. And in each of them you have to, if you prefer to vote just for the party, you'll put the letter of the party in the corner. And if you prefer a specific person, then you have to write the name of the person.
It's not a checkbox of names. You have to write it in.
Not if it's early voting.
Oh, right. Okay, got it.
For early voting, you write the name. So please make sure to write it correctly.
Okay.
For the voting day, it's an X. You just
Right.
have one X.
One X.
One X.
One
Derek.
X, Derek.
Okay. This will be my second time voting in the local and regional elections in Denmark, and I hope that even though it's my second time voting, this will be the first time my vote will count because I believe that I invalidated myself the first time by accidentally. I did not listen to a podcast that told me what to do in advance. The last time I voted, I picked multiple candidates, and that is wrong.
Yeah, see,
should only
how are
pick
we
one.
supposed to know?
So
we need Narcis.
you have one. John, let's not overestimate my word. Let's say you have 1 X on each ballot. You'll have 2 ballots, and on each of them you have to select just one, either name, or you can actually vote the whole list. So you'll notice that there's like a place to put an X next to each name on the list, but also there's a place to put an X next to the letter of the party.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And if you don't know who you want, but you, let's just say, resonate with a certain party, you put X for the party, and then the vote will actually go to ensure that party gets more seats to distribute for the people among the list. What's beautiful about the personal vote is that you can actually directly decide who from the list can go in. So even if it's the last one on the list, if he gets most votes, it'll go in. Right? That's beautiful. That's what I like about Danish democracy, is that you can have a say over who gets to be actually elected, and the parties not so much. They can curate and say, you can run, you can run, you can run, but it's still the voter who says, well, among these people that you have curated, this ones belong and will sure represent me. So then you actually can go and tell that person, hey, Derek, you're running for elections in Copenhagen. Congratulations. I voted for you. Well, me and 100 of my friends, we all internationals, have all voted for you. I see you got a seat. Congrats. You made history, by the way.
This is all hypothetical, of course.
Yes.
Sure. Do not look for my name on.
Okay,
Not this
Derek.
year.
Now we have these issues. From what I understood, you would care about our issues. You probably want our votes again in 4 years, right?
Yeah, of course.
Of course you want them. Well, we're looking forward to see what you can do. And let's say I'll visit you once a month to see how it's going.
I'll haunt you in your dreams.
No.
And in person.
You can
But
do
you
that.
have a lot
I
of
know,
access.
I
Yeah.
think that's great. I think it's great because,
Yeah.
is it true that, a lot of these people they have like other jobs, but this is like also what they do. It's like were you saying 15 hours of their time or something like that?
yeah,
Like
right.
where it's not, this is a full-time politician job. It's set up very differently here.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a lot more power in local and regional level, right?
Yeah.
So what areas does that cover so people know? Because sometimes I think people think local, regional, and they're like, oh, that's not that important. Like I just care about the national level. But in Denmark, I think it's very different.
Yes, Denmark is a very local-based country. A lot of decisions are being taken as close to the citizens as possible. So in the local level, they deal with your daily life. Literally, kindergartens, schools, the roads, the lighting on your street, the waste management, the libraries, the swimming pools, anything that you use in a daily life, 99% is run by the local government.
Wow.
So it's definitely that. But if you need to go to the hospital, then that's run by the regional government. So actually, healthcare is a regional competence.
So all the ones you were saying were local, and then regional is healthcare.
It's healthcare, tourism, raw materials, and maybe
Raw materials,
regional transport.
Regional transport.
Like those buses that are in between cities, and
I see.
Anything that's outside of the city boundaries someone has to manage it, and that will be the regional government. Right, regional council.
Healthcare being regional makes sense because when I switched communes, I thought, oh, I'm in a country of national healthcare. Like the records will just transfer over, and that wasn't the case at all. I was like, what? Like, what is national healthcare then? Like, I need to like transfer these? Don't you all have the same system? But no. It took me years to figure that out.
Yeah. It's unfortunately you can see differences in quality. Some regions are more rich than others, and treatment can vary. Yes, they try their best to provide the same quality, but honestly speaking, both on local level in terms of schools quality and also on a regional level based on healthcare quality, services vary depending on the resources each municipality or region has. And just so you know, a lot of your money that you pay from taxes actually stay where you live.
Wow.
So they manage most of your money.
So you're voting for your money and where and how it's going to be spent.
Yeah. You're voting for your daily life.
Yeah.
It's not even ideology. It's not politics.
Yeah.
It's literally, should there be a kindergarten close to you? Maybe let's say you live in the suburbs and there was a kindergarten, but now they want to close it because there's too few children, because it's too expensive. Well, you would not like that because you still have a daughter going to that kindergarten. So hell, I don't want that to happen. I don't want to take her 30 kilometers to the nearest city. So then you have to go to your city council and convince them that somehow it's okay to overspend to keep that kindergarten open.
Wow.
It's all about interest. Everyone who organizes and has some sort of lobby power, they try to keep their own interests running. So it's not always about the best decision.
Yeah.
It's about who's bothering about. So is that school in a small district having too few students? Yes. Is it very important to keep the community together so people don't move out of that community? Yes. Would you overspend to keep it open? Yes. Not fun, but yes.
So these are the kinds of decisions that are really being taken here.
Yeah.
It is so important, and I think that's why it surprised us when we were preparing for this episode to learn how few people in the international community are actually making use of their vote.
Yeah.
We learned that in the 2017 election, for example, turnout among eligible internationals in some groups was as low as 8 and 9%, and overall only around
Polish.
30%.
I know who.
But overall, around only 30% compared to Danes who are over 70% voting in these elections.
And the only reason is 70% is because they take in consideration statistics also the international population, because normally it will be over 80%, just like with national elections. So we're kind of dragging down the percentage, and they're not very happy about that.
Yeah.
Every time there is a count of presentation of the final percentage, they get very angry about it, that we are counted in the statistics, so therefore we pull down the...
So we're pulling down... we're pulling down democracy.
Pretty much. They're not happy about that.
Yeah.
So guys, if you really, really want to impress your Danish friends, your Danish family, your Danish co-workers, really join in the democracy. They will love you for that.
Why do you think people aren't?
I mean, there's so many reasons, right? If you come, for example, like Eastern Europe, like me, you hate politics. You hate anything associated with politics because you feel like politics has failed you. And that's why you left the country.
Okay.
And therefore, there's a huge traumatic process that you need to go through before you even consider joining politics again. That's why Polish and Romanians have the lowest voting percentages, 9 and 11%. That's how it is. Even though, funny enough, most of the candidates that are there are Romanians. In 2021, we had 19 international candidates, from which 18 were in Romanian.
Wow.
Yeah. But we still had the vote. We are also second largest minority in Denmark, so our numbers are big, so they count into the overall much more than...
So people that come from a place where democracy has failed them are less likely to vote.
Yes.
In the democratic process here.
One thing. There's also people coming from, Western countries and US who also have very low percentage voting. Maybe not so low, but also around the 20s, 30%. While people coming from non-democracies like Somalia, they have over 70%, 65% voting percentage, which is close to what the Danes have.
Wow.
It's amazing.
No, I know I've heard from some friends in the U.S. International community here, other Americans, saying that they don't maybe feel they know enough, or they don't feel like they are entitled to be able to vote here. And that's the reason why, not because they don't kind of share that value of being taking part in the civic duty, I guess, but they just feel almost like everything works here well, and they don't know enough, so they don't want to interfere with what's going on.
Well, everything works really well. That's an overstatement. There are lacks everywhere.
I would.
But here we're not talking about always changing things. We're not talking about always improving things. We're literally talking how should the money that you give to the local government should be spent?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you are entitled to something out of it? Then do something about it. That's it. That's literally it. It's about distribution of resources on a local level. It's such a big word to use politics on it.
Yeah.
To be honest, because the people who are elected in these local councils are people who have normal jobs, like maybe working as a cleaner, or being unemployed, or being a teacher, or driving a car, driving a bus, whatever. It's all slice of life representing in the local council. It's not people with political science degrees. Those go to the national level. They don't bother. Denmark is a small country. Political talent is very little. So all of it goes to national level. So what you have left is normal people. So those are the people you vote for, actually. It's normal people. So therefore, it makes very easy sense for internationals to also join these normal people, because many of us are also normal people, right?
There's no posters for local regional elections, right, with people's faces on them?
There are.
Oh,
there are plenty. Imagine you have 300 an average in a municipality, and then you have posters. Everyone tries to put their poster out there. it's a forest of posters.
Oh, I do have a recollection now of the one from 4 years ago when I lived in a little village in Jylland, and it would just be like up on the lamppost was like a dude, like a teen dude in a hoodie. And it was like, vote for me. It's like, that's my friend. It's like I really see like how it's just people that want to get involved.
Yeah, and if you don't know the person on the poster, what would you recommend to a listener who says fine, I will vote.
Fine, I'll vote.
But this is just fine. I'll do it. But if they want something more sophisticated than just looking at the posters and saying, I like that hoodie guy, what would you recommend to somebody who just says, I need a crash course so I know what to do and how to vote?
To be honest, how do Danish people vote? Right? They look around. It's like, this is my neighbor running. No, my family running. No. My coworker running? No. Do I know anyone running? Oh, yes, he's a childhood friend from God knows where. Okay, cool. That's what I'm voting for. But if you have nobody to vote, then you're probably going to have to... There's people who are very political, who go to debates. Very few, to be honest. The debates are almost empty. And they burn about a certain issue. Right now, for example, in Aalborg, we have the third... there's a new highway being built, a bridge, right? And it was about should it be in the west side where the rich people live or in the east side where the poor people live. And guess what? It was a place where the rich people live. So they are very angry about that, obviously, because they're all about, our property value is going to decrease and whatnot. So they're very angry about that. So now any local politician who will be like, I will try to do something to derail that project, which is impossible. It's a done deal. They will start building it soon. They will vote for that person because they really are angry about that one issue. So there can be issues in certain electoral years that drive people and they make them angry.
And they're super local.
Super local. They have to be super local, yeah. So it can be that as well.
You've worked to raise awareness about voting for years. Have you seen any changes or improvements in more people voting, or is it about the same? Or
Well, things have changed, to be honest. When we started the first English campaign, which was in 2013 in Aalborg, we noticed that people didn't know at all about it. Danes didn't know, politicians didn't know, political parties didn't know, internationals didn't know. So we had to start from scratch. Luckily, what I noticed is that because we have done it in Aalborg, the other political parties have started to pay attention. So I noticed that, for example, the Conservatives have started to consider making English campaigns in some other municipalities around Denmark, and other like radical events or other parties have also tried to copy what we have done in Aalborg with the Social Democrats, right? So it became like a snowball effect. And because they did campaign in English, other people found out they can vote. It started to become more and more of a common knowledge. So with every voting round, we made progress. And that's why before the previous, 4 years ago, when my dream was to put one international candidate in every municipality. I failed because I couldn't find one in every municipality, but I had prospects in half of them. But it's difficult to maintain so many people, right? I had to keep calls all the time. I'm thinking about that. I don't want to continue anymore. And then I had to keep giving pep talks again and again and again, explain that it's not so difficult. Don't be afraid of it. In the end, I remained with 19 people. But those 19 people being on posters with foreign names, international names, they made a difference because, what? She's from Moldavia and she's running for elections? Wait, we can run for elections?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Visibility.
Like what,
That's huge.
That's
I
Romanian.
didn't think about that.
That's French. How come they're running? What's with these names, on the posters?
And
That
I think
made a huge impact on their lives. Like, we can do a lot more here, right? So, yes, there is an ascendant in terms of voting mainly for Europeans because they were very low. So now it's not 9 and 11. Last time it was 13 and 15.
Okay. So
it improved a bit. But it seems that the non-Europeans dipped a little bit from 68 to 61.
They might just be like they don't know.
I think that's a lot of it. I think a lot of people aren't aware of,
or because we've talked about this so many times, but the international community, everyone is on their own path and maybe in and out. Like they might just be here for a year. Like they're like, why do I need to vote, for this if I'm, there's so many different cases. But it is about the people that are staying for a while, and even if you are here for a short time, like why not? I don't know.
I mean, how many of us are really here for a short time? Let's be honest.
It ends up being longer always
Yeah,
for
it's like-
everybody. I feel like it's so true.
I thought
That
I was
is
coming
so
for
true.
6 months, and that was 8.5 years ago.
I accidentally moved here in general. Like I didn't mean to move here.
You were
And
riding out
it's like-
COVID. For,
Yeah.
So I haven't met that many people who are like, oh, I came here for a year. Yes,
Yeah.
Erasmus Plus students, but how many of them are really around us?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Because we keep saying, like, oh, there's many people who are on the move. No, there are not that many, actually.
Because you want to kind of like establish a life, you know, if you can, and like
Let's be honest about it. I have seen half of the world. Maybe that sounds a bit bad, but I don't think I found a better society than the Danish one to raise a family in.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of things. We are here at the, let's just say, top of civilization, right?
But what if
Here.
you're not raising a family here?
Yeah, I'm not.
Because that's a very real thing. Too.
I have
like,
several plants that I'm trying to keep alive.
I mean, as someone who has a family, I am very aware of what you're saying, and I absolutely believe it. But I also have so many, you know, friends and coworkers that you know have. So it's like, what about me? Like, do I get endless child sick days, or like, you know? So I mean, do you feel as someone who's worked in Denmark for so long in politics behind the scenes, do you also feel that this is like a utopian place and traveled the world a lot, like for people that don't have a family?
To be honest, the line from the state is, you should have a family.
Why aren't you having a family? You should have a family.
Sorry, I've been trying. It's
Yeah,
just
I
not
mean,
happening.
that's the line. That's the line. The point is, Denmark to survive in its children. That's just the reality of things. For us to be able to continue playing this Ponzi scheme called the pension, we either import people from abroad or we make children. Denmark would like us to make more children first before they import people from abroad.
I don't know if it's just the people I know, but I feel like Danes have more than 2 children here. Like a lot of families have 3
Some.
or 4. Like,
Unfortunately, still pretty low. It's under.
but then that's what I read is that it's like a low. But I feel like more than I've seen in other places I've lived.
Because you see the ones who have children. Those who have children actually make quite a few. But then there's the ones who don't make any.
Yeah.
You don't see them because they're not in your circle.
They're not
You
going to
have
the
other
playground.
children.
Listen, I have friends that are not just parents.
Really? Do you still have them?
I do.
Okay. Most families, when they have children, they
Yeah, I
kind
know.
of
They disappear into the
without
community.
Yeah, because they're on the same schedules.
well, you know, you want children to play with each other so that you can finally have
sure.
time to have a coffee and discuss other grown-up things.
No, you're right. It happens. It does happen that way.
It's
But
the
I like
reality
to
of things.
preserve my life outside of being a mom. So I also have.
But you have to work probably pretty hard on that.
Yeah. I want to be everything.
It's also confusing. This is obviously not related to the elections, but yeah, I think a few weeks ago, my husband and I met Brooke for lunch, and it was kind of interesting because I don't know, your work day was late or something, and we were sort of like, so how long can you hang out? Because how does it work when you have children and have to do other things?
Yeah.
Can you drink right now? What's
Yeah.
what's the vibe?
Well, and it
we didn't really
changes-
know.
It changes every year depending
Yeah.
on how old they are too. So it's like, do I have to be home for like nap time, or like are they older now and they can like be a little self-sufficient? So it's a good question. I'm glad you asked.
But
How
that is
does
a
one
good.
do this?
How does this work? I don't want to not invite you to what we're doing later, but I don't know
Please
if you
always invite
can.
me to
I don't want to
things.
make you FOMO about
I want to
this.
be. I always have fun. So I always want to be invited. Is the please everyone? That's the one takeaway. I hope everyone just invite me.
Yeah. And we'll invite you.
Don't keep me out.
And we'll invite you to. We'll invite you into voting and the voting process.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what should people know to maybe just make it very clear what they have to do? So of course we talked about the qualifications, what they should do in advance. What happens when they hit that mark? If they are eligible, they get this valkort. They get a voting card in the mail.
Some of them.
Some of them.
99%.
Okay, and then they just show up to vote.
And but don't they have ballots there too? No. I can't remember now. Did I bring
Okay,
it in?
so
Yeah. How does this work?
How does it work? I just remember the bowl of candy. I was really excited about the bowl of candy.
some voting section might have that. It's not.
It might or
it's
might
not a
not.
given
I didn't
all
get
of them have
candy,
it.
but
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
deserve it because I messed up. So I did not deserve candy.
Look, 99% of the times you will get a voting card in your mailbox which just says where to show up to vote. Which
Okay.
will be probably the nearest school,
Okay.
to be honest. But there is also situations where some of you might not get it because maybe your mailbox was full with other advertising, or you didn't notice what the hell was that and you threw it away by mistake.
Voting campaign leaflets.
Yeah, which will be a lot of them. So what you should do is you can still vote. If you know you're eligible to vote, even if you don't have the voting card, find a school, go inside, tell them that you didn't get your voting card, but you are eligible. If they question you on that, show them the law. Hey, don't question me on that. There will be some who will question you on that because you speak English and they're like, the fuck? How can you vote? So tell them, and then they will look in the system and they will tell you where to go to vote for your own. Maybe that's the one. Most likely, if you went to the nearest school,
if it's near you,
that's most likely the one, right? So 1% of you, even if you don't get the voting card, you can still go. But if you get it, you look at the address and you go exactly there to go and vote. You just need your yellow card. You just go inside, show your yellow card. They'll give you 2 ballots. You'll go inside. You'll put an X on one, an X on the other one, depending if it's personal next to a name, if it's party next to a party. That doesn't mean 2 X's. Still, it's only one. On the one on one ballot, one the other ballot. You put them in the voting in the how's it called the thing with the votes.
The box,
big,
the tally
yeah.
box.
Yeah. There's like a special way to
box.
fold it up too, because it's so many parties and so many names that you have like a special folding like origami, and then you stick it in the slot.
You put it inside, and that's it. You did it. And if you cannot be on a Tuesday to vote, by the way, your employer is not allowed to say no if you tell him that you have to take off from work to go and vote, because it's called a citizen obligation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they have to allow you to take, I don't know, half an hour, 1 hour, whatever, to go and vote, because it's a Tuesday, it's a working day in the end. It's always on a working day. So that's one thing. But if you cannot, you're not in the country in a day, just remember you have 6 weeks during working hours and during working days to go and vote at any library in your municipality.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Service. Yeah.
Huh.
That's early voting, and just the only difference is that instead of putting 2 X's, you just have to write the name of the candidate.
Right. Okay. Yes.
That's the difference.
So there are no excuses. So you are automatically registered and sent your Valcourt. If it doesn't come for some reason, you can just show up and they will help you vote. If you don't speak Danish yet, that's not an excuse. If you don't know enough about the process or the parties or the candidates, that's also not an excuse, because we've covered a lot of it today, and we'll put other resources in the show notes and description. So there's no excuses. If you're international, if you're Danish, it doesn't matter. You should be out there and vote on November 18th.
Would love to hear how everyone's experiences go.
Yeah.
I think it would be really interesting to, if you're doing it for the first time, if you're doing it for the however many time, what was it smooth for you? Was it in something for me, the bowl of candy was such a very Danish thing. And I'm not saying that everyone's going to get a bowl of candy, but like it was such a great, I felt really good about that experience, about doing it. So I hope y'all do it.
Yeah, I'm excited to do it properly this time, but for the second time.
So you learned you tried it the first time and you learned.
Yeah. And we've learned a lot today. So
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for guiding us.
Just so much for helping us. And
the more we talk about it, the more it's going to become common knowledge. And I think that's the game here, right?
Yeah.
It should be that there shouldn't be someone that has to be tasked with finding candidates that are international and convincing them to run, or promoting the knowledge about voting. This should be the state, not me, for example. I should be focusing on my own campaign. I should be convincing you about my politics, not about the fact that you can vote.
Yeah.
That kind of gives me a disadvantage, right, as an international candidate, that I have to spend so much time in
educating.
That I rarely get to speak about what do I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. It's like you get to so much to spend first. Why should you vote? How it works, and all of that. There's many hurdles, and then at the end, if you still have energy, by the way, vote for me because.
So we all need to empower each other. It's if you say, to your international friend, this is what I've learned.
It should be easier for the next round of candidates. Whoever is going to be 4 years from now, I hope a lot of you guys remember any normal human being can run for elections in Denmark. Run.
Yeah.
And you made history as the first international to be elected in
a regional council.
In a regional council.
Remember, there's still the Dutch mayor who was first in history.
Okay, there's a Dutch mayor in Samsu. But otherwise, you could make history in your region.
Now. after 20 years.
So he's Danish now. Great. We lost our one international. He's no longer. He's Danish now.
No. But imagine, even as him as a mayor of Samso, it took him 20 years to get citizenship.
Wow.
Wow.
What?
So it did not have a privilege.
So he finally had employment. And then he checked the box.
My God.
That's great.
If you have the chance to go to the island of Samso, you should go and try it out and see what does it mean to have a Dutch mayor for so many years. I think he's been mayor for 2 mandates already.
Yeah. They've got tulips now.
Oh, the cheese is really good.
Yeah.
It should be interesting. I've never been there. I'm really curious to go see.
beautiful.
Have you been?
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
Excellent. Well, this is great. And I'm ready to vote. Thank you so
ready
much
to
for
vote.
letting us all know how to do it. Make a voting plan. Find one international friend and have them check to see if they're able to vote. We can make a difference. And thanks so much for the inspiration today.
Let's make history together.
Yeah. Thanks for listening and watching, everybody.
Hi.
Bye.